jacket. So I got my first injection on October 26, 2018. My second injection of 300 was on November 20th, 26 days later. And when I got about halfway through the month on the first injection, I started going into withdrawal. It got worse, and I ended up on 3 films a day. Now, yesterday, it happened again. I had been feeling okay after the second shot in November until yesterday. I woke up and I was in withdrawal. I had all of the symptoms, and it hit me really, really hard. I tried to eliminate anything during this process that I thought might be an issue. Is it, putting a film under my tongue that I'm really missing, and it's all mental? I went to a psychiatrist, got counseling, all those things, and I continue to make sure that that's not it. But it really isn't. It's withdrawal. So I'm on films again as of today. And I have to tell you, the second one was a lot different. The first one was in my lower right side, and I can still feel it. It really hasn't dissipated a whole lot since I actually got it 6 weeks ago. Now, the second injection, totally different. I can't even really feel it. It was the upper quadrant of the right side. And when he did this one, he commented, wow, that's kind of deep. And he flattened it out with his hand after he gave it to me. And honestly, I can't even feel that it's in there. It's so deep. So it's kind of worrisome. I don't know if that's what is making this harder, even though I have more medication, and I have no idea. So I reported it to the adverse effects hotline for Invidior and got a case number, sent them pictures of my Sublocade boxes that I took pictures of because I'm vlogging, and they are going to talk to a rep about the situation and see if it's because it's so far into my muscles that maybe that's why it's not working. So honestly, I think who this is good for is somebody who doesn't have a choice, somebody that's maybe on 8 milligrams or lower, not on 24 a day, somebody who has been stable for a long time and isn't really caught on the idea of putting something under their tongue every day. Honestly, that's why I wanted to stop, because I wanted to stop going to the pharmacy so much. I hate the way that I'm treated at most pharmacies and the stigma. I don't like putting something in my mouth, not being able to talk to my children or my family. I don't like the blood blisters that I get in my mouth and the gum sensitivity and all that kind of stuff. It's really disheartening, and I don't like the way that it makes me not able to taste food. So there's a lot of good points to Sublocade. I mean, a lot. It's worth the pain of the injection because it's really not that bad. It's worth having it on your stomach. I mean, if I wasn't driving, I would show you the second one. I mean, I don't even know where it's at. Honestly, I see the needle mark still, the little tiny scab. So I'm guessing where it's at. And after this happened the first time in the beginning, 2 weeks after my first injection, the doctor took a look at it and said that, maybe you should massage the area and get this thing moving. Honestly, so I've been rubbing the area of both shots, but you know what? I've rubbed it until it's bruised and it doesn't feel good on my insides anymore, and that's why I finally gave up and called Invidior today and filed a case, which, let's be real here, Invidior is not going to do anything to help me. They're, what are they going to do? So what's really disheartening to me too is that this is a $1,580 a month shot. You shouldn't be buying films. I mean, that's crazy. It's so much more expensive. So, it seems like there'd be a better way to handle this somehow, and maybe they just haven't perfected it and things will get better. But my doctor's office is going to try to get me approved for instead of going down to the 100 maintenance on December 21st when I get my third shot, they're going to try to get it at 300 since there's obviously something wrong and this isn't working for me. So if you look at my other videos, you'll know that I've been on suboxone since July 11th, 2011. I have never relapsed, not once. I have a trail of clean drug tests. I do smart recovery. I go to every appointment. I don't use, I have no desire to. So it's not that I'm not clean enough or whatever, that I'm not far enough away that I feel like I need to be taking something every day, because that's not it at all. So that's my update. I know a lot of people have been asking me, how's it going? I'll answer any comments that I get. I think it's really important that anybody that's out there, if you get this, vlog it, put it in a blog post, put the information out there. They don't have enough information on this. If you look at the actual studies and things like that, they pushed this to market really fast because it seemed like such a good cure to a lot of the epidemic that's going on. So they really didn't do that many studies. There's not a lot of info out there. So I don't know if it's just that little people are on it, which I don't imagine that to be the case, or what. But nobody's talking about it. I mean, usually like Blue Light or all of these other forums, people would be talking about it, there'd be videos, and there just really isn't. So I'm pleading with you, if you are one of the people that are on it or have been for a while, please put the information out there. It's important, because this drug is new. Just like buprenorphine in general being used for opiate use disorder, this is a new drug. This is a new thing. I mean, we need more people out there saying, this is how my experience went. It will help someone. It really will. And we have to stick together, because there's a stigma and nobody wants to help us, So I really hope that more people do like me. Don't put your face out there. People know my voice, but I'm not putting my face out there because I don't want certain people to know certain things about me. So do it anonymous. An anonymous blog or vlog or post is so much better than not helping another person. Maybe if we could get more people out there that do talk about this, more people would get help or wouldn't be afraid. I'm not afraid of this shot, okay? I don't want anybody to be deterred from it. If you have a doctor that's willing to work with you and help you and be there for you, like mine is, I'm so lucky to have my doctor. He's the best in Michigan, and I know that where I live. But if you're fortunate enough to have that kind of support and a doctor that's willing to call in films for you, or help you with comfort meds, or give you advice, or contact the manufacturer, or get the 300 the third time, and they don't have like these hard and fast crazy rules that deter people, then you should try this. Absolutely. I mean, just because I was on 24 milligrams a day and this is hard for me, it could just be because I'm thin. I don't have like any fat on my stomach. I'm 105 pounds. I'm the smallest I've ever been, and I'm 5'3". I've always been pretty small. I was into dance and things like that as a younger person, and I just kind of never grew. I'm just not a heavy person, and nobody on the one side of my family is either. And the foods that I typically like are healthier foods. So it could be why. That could very well be why it's not working so well for me. And that might not be your case, or you might be better able to dissolve the medication in your body. That's the other thing too, is that if you know something about the delivery system, if you work in the field, and you're getting the injection, help us out, explain to us how this works, because there's so limited info. Atrogel is relatively new, the part that forms the depot, and all I can see about it to finagle, getting it to work better, is that it takes the water in your body, and the water goes in and the medication goes out, and it biodegrades, and it's a polymer of like lactic and glycolic acid, which is weird because that's what I use on my face for acne, but that forms the depot. So it's the water going in. So I've tried a heating pad putting over it. I've tried massaging where I think the second depot is and where I feel the first depot is. Maybe it's because I'm too dehydrated. I'm always dehydrated. I've got a super fast metabolism, and in general, buprenorphine makes me dehydrated. So it's quite possible that that's why it's not working for me. So I can drink as much water as I want, I'm still going to feel dried out. So maybe that's why too. So even if you are above 8 milligrams, if you have a doctor that's willing to help you, then I totally recommend this. I do. I think that they just haven't fine-tuned it yet. They haven't had these systems in place of like what to do, when this happens. So I think that's really all it is that they need to get the whole system together and fine-tune it so that they know how to handle patients like me Like, what happens if the shot goes too deep? What happens if it doesn't work? What happens if it quits working halfway in between? How are we going to make these patients able to afford this shot when this happens, and supplemental medications? So don't be deterred from it. People are going to tell you that it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. You're putting gel in your abdomen with a 19 gauge syringe. But it's not that bad. I mean, like I said in previous videos, it's not anywhere near having a kidney stone or a ruptured eardrum or a broken bone or anything like that. It's not even as bad as like having period pain or PMS pain. So don't let that deter you. I heard some guy screaming in the next room, and he sounded like a big baby, and that's all it was. So I try not to make even a whimper when I get mine, because I don't want other people to be afraid, because it's really not that big deal. And like anything else, even like childbirth, the pain is finite. It ends at some point. For me, it ends in 30 seconds, and then you feel nothing, and it's a little sore, and you move on with your life. So that shouldn't be a deterrent. Now, I have heard of people, like I heard them on the phone, fighting with the online pharmacy, not getting it there in time for appointments. So that is kind of a barrier and something to worry about, and you have to really make sure that you have that on time. But if you can stockpile some films just in case, take as little as you possibly can, and give it a try, I think it's worth it. Because, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to go into withdrawal. But it's not going to be withdrawal, like what I'm going through. It's not like the creepy crawly, I can't sit still, I can't get even more than 10 minutes of sleep. I'm in a bathtub crying withdrawal. It's the yawning, the sweating, the feeling like crap, the being kind of lethargic, the weird feeling that you get in your mouth, the eye watering and postnasal drip. And it's those things that happen, like if you were to quit suboxone for like 4 days, that's what it feels like, but not the 7th, 8th day where you're like in bad shape, writhing pain and discomfort. It's a different kind of withdrawal, and it's something that anybody can handle. I mean, I'm taking Suboxone on top of it because I've got little kids. They need me. They're sick right now. I can't, they want to put up the Christmas tree and all these other things, and I don't want to be like half out of it, grumpy, I want to be like I should be. And that's the thing that's so important about this, is helping other people means that other people get to be there for their kids too. Other people get to keep their jobs. Other people, do matter. And it is important to help other people. And that's why I'm putting this information out there for people, and I'll answer any questions that I can. I mean, look at how many people have died from overdoses that had a Suboxone appointment and like the day after they died set up. They like almost made it. I mean, what stopped them from going all the other times that they thought about it? So I think that it's important. One thing I want to mention too is that the side effects are a lot less of Sublocade than they are with Suboxone. You don't get like the cloudy-headed, grumpy mood swings, the insomnia, the headaches, the nausea. You don't get that like you do with Suboxone. So that's part of my disappointment of having to take supplemental films, is that I'm like not missing those side effects. I love being able to get up in the morning and just drink my coffee and talk to my kids and do whatever I want, and not have to like wait 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after to not eat, smoke, talk, drink, whatever, It's so disruptive, Suboxone. And I'm so glad that they came out with something different. And the other thing, if anybody knows about the other shot that's coming out, it looks like it's made of a different polymer, like a crystalline polymer. And I think if you know about that, it's not brought to market yet, but it's pretty close, and they have weekly and monthly injections. If y'all know about that, put something out there, help the world. So the other thing is that these Facebook groups, you got to be careful, because people won't follow up, or even videos, and they'll say, oh, I just got my shot 2 hours ago and I feel awesome and this is gonna work and all these other things, and then they don't report back to you, so you don't even know, like, did they have any side effects that night? How did the month go? So be careful with those posts, and things like that. And everybody has a different experience, so it's gonna be what happens to you and how you feel. So some people need to wake up in the morning and they need to put something under their tongue, because if they don't, they're gonna go back. to heroin or pills or whatever. Some people are too new in recovery and they need to feel that up and down wave. There isn't a lot of up and down with Sublocade. You feel pretty much the same all the time unless it stops working. I notice I feel best in the morning when I wake up, and at night and during the day it kind of wanes a little bit. But not like it is with suboxone. It's a lot more steady. But some people want that up and down. They want to feel something. And maybe that means that Sublocade's not right for you. I don't know. But my best advice is to stockpile. Time it out so that you get 90 films or something right before your shot. Or make sure that your doctor guarantees that they're going to help you. I have the most wonderful doctor's office in the world. I mean, there's nothing that I would ever do to compromise my relationship with them because they are so important to me. I owe them my life. I owe them my children. I owe them everything because without them, I wouldn't have made it this far. I went to see them when I was at my rock bottom. I mean, I just couldn't keep going. And I'd been to some really janky doctors trying to find a good doctor. So anyway, hopefully I'll be able to upload this soon. Ask me any questions that you have. Put out any information that you can. And I'll keep updating you. They're going to put me on 300 again if they'll approve it. So I'll keep going. I just wanted to make sure that I had a better idea of how I felt and what was really going on before I put information out there. So I just didn't want to put up this, hey, I feel great today. Oh, another weird thing happened that I forgot to, real quick, I'll tell you about too. I got the injection on a Tuesday, and I felt fine. And then on Thanksgiving, 2 days later, I woke up, I was getting ready, I was putting makeup on, and all of a sudden, I got scared. I felt like crap. I felt like I was gonna puke. My head hurt worse than I had ever hurt, ever, and it lasted probably like a half hour, and it scared me senseless. It didn't feel like withdrawal. It felt like something completely different, and it lasted for quite a while. And then I just kind of like got through it, even though it was like debilitating. I couldn't even stand up. I pushed through it, and then when we got to Thanksgiving, an hour away, I felt freaking awesome. I didn't feel like I was on medication. I was in a good mood. I mean, it was the best I've felt in a long, long time. And then it went away. So I don't know what that was about, if like a piece of it broke off or something, or I don't know, but a lot of weird things have happened to me on this, like some really strange, odd things. So that's my update. Just get in touch with me if you have any more questions or need any help. And if anybody's watching this that's still using, if you need some encouragement, if you need a buddy, if you need somebody to hold your hand through it, I'm there for you. I think that all of our goal, once we make it out onto the other side and have enough years under our belt, should be to help as many people get treatment as possible, especially if you're pregnant. If you're pregnant, don't be afraid. You can get through this. I'll help you. Somebody will help you. But contact me if you need help, because I'll help anybody who needs it and who's really serious about getting into recovery. So happy holidays, and I'll update you soon. Bye-bye.